Hello everyone, welcome back to Fire Emblem Heroes. The new Fate update came out with a bunch of cool stuff. One of the cool things that came with the update that I really wanted to talk about is Heroic Grails. Heroic Grails is basically a shop where you exchange a new currency called Heroic Grails for Grand Hero Battle and Tempest Trials heroes. Yes, this does mean we are able to finally have the ability to merge and plus 10 these free-to-play units. It will take a while to do so because it takes a total of 3,200 Heroic Grails to obtain 10 copies of a specific hero. We have gotten multiple copies of some of these free-to-play units in the past, so obviously some of them won't cost the full 3,200. But if you just start playing and missed out on some of these guys, then it'll take you a little bit longer than others. There's 20 copies of each hero that's available for purchase, and the starting price is 100 Heroic Grails. With each hero summon, the price increases by 50 until the 9th summon. Summons 10 and beyond will cost 500 Heroic Grails each. You might be asking, how do we get more Heroic Grails? Well, you get them as a reward for participating in the new upcoming game mode called Aether Raids. The reward system for the mode is similar to how Arena Assault does it. Basically, the higher you are ranked, the better the rewards, and we'll talk more about Aether Raids once it comes out. So now that you know the basics of Heroic Grails, let's take a look at the hero selection. I'll give you guys my opinion on which units I think are worth merging to plus 10. By the way, just remember that you can plus 10 whoever you want. Actually, I would recommend that you merge whoever you like, but if you need any recommendations, then you can take a look at my list. Anyways, first is Garen. This guy is basically just a slower version of Young Tiki. I do think Young Tiki is more versatile and better because she has a great unique weapon in Breath of Fog, but it's difficult to summon her. Garen has decent attack with great mixed bulk. He's slow, but that's an advantage for him because he can purposely get doubled to charge his special faster. One of his best upsides is in his unique weapon Breath of Blight. The AoE part effect is kind of gimmicky and not really that useful, but it could be fun to play with. The important effect in Breath of Blight is the neutralization of effective against dragon bonuses. He's the only unit with that effect, and that's going to help him defend against Falchion Lords and Breath of Fog Tikis. Wallheart is another good candidate. Good Axe Cavaliers aren't that common, and Wallheart is pretty decent. He's very similar to Frederick, but the big difference is that Wallheart has a unique weapon. Wolfberg grants him +4 in all his combat stats when he's in combat and nowhere near his allies. Merging him to plus 10 will help him a lot since he can make good use of every single stat. Although he's not really that useful in Arena because he does the complete opposite of supporting bonus allies, but for the other game modes, he's great. Lioness is probably one of the better candidates. He has a refined weapon in Basilicos which has innate life and death. He naturally has really good defense, so even with the life and death refinement, he's still decently bulky. This gives him more flexibility in his skill options than compared to Raven. So next one is male Kana. I remember saying that if Grand Hero Battle units were able to plus 10 merge, then he would be one of the best ones. If you look at his base stats, he doesn't really excel at anything except for the fact that he has good mixed bulk. Everything is around 30. Speed really isn't that high at 33 in today's standard, but if you can get him to plus 10 merge, then he's getting +4 in every single stat and he can make good use of those bonuses as well. Joshua is similar to Melkana. He's also a jack of all trades, doesn't excel at anything except for having good mixed bulk, but he's a bit better in the speed department. Just like Kana, he makes good use of the extra merge bonuses. He also comes with a unique weapon, which isn't that amazing. It's just a unique slaying weapon with a +5 resistance passive, but it can be useful if you decide to use double ploys in his skill sets. New Year's Corn is a good one if you're looking for a colorless unit that can run close counter. He has the highest base defense among all infantry archers, is 2 more than Gordon and 4 more than Leon. His builds are pretty expensive, but if you are willing to invest in him, then he can become a pretty tanky close counter user. Arvest is a very good one. At 0 merge, his speed was pretty underwhelming, being only at 31. 33 resistance was also borderline good for using ploys without Fury equipped. With that being said, at plus 10 merged, those extra bonuses will help him a lot by granting him increased speed and resistance. I think if we ever get red dual infantry, then Arvest would be my top candidate because he would be an incredible supportive unit for Arena considering that he can run all 4 ploys. And this also applies to Sias as well. Mask Marth is basically neutral Lucina. She has 2 different unique weapons. There's Sealed Falchion and Spectrum Bound Falchion. Her skill sets are flexible, she's very versatile, and overall a strong offensive unit that can be effective on either phase. If you've been playing since day 1, then I believe we should be at +8 Mask Marth right now, so for some of us, she only requires a couple more copies. Mikalis is a strong enemy phase X flyer. This guy is physically bulky and deals great damage, especially when he procs specials with his refined weapon equipped. Him being able to use guidance also slightly increases his value because he can help a mixed team become more mobile. Then of course there's the 4 armored units. These guys are always in the conversation in case you need some free armored units on your team to increase your arena score. I mean, these are good units regardless anyways. Black Knight, you guys already know how good he is. He has a distant counter weapon, Black Luna, he's fast and tanky. Arden has a very nice min-max stat line. All the points are focused into his physical bulk. If all the stars are aligned, then he has the potential to reach 100 plus HP. Elderwood is another one of those units that make great use of the extra merge bonuses. He definitely needs the extra bonuses in his defense and res because 2929 isn't really that high for an armored unit. His attack, however, is extraordinary. He's tied for 3rd highest attack among all units. Up next is Zephiel. This guy is a total wall. A refined X-Axe grants him distant defense, and combining that with a distant defense seal increases his total defense to 54 and his resistance to 40 when defending against ranged foes. Then you also have to take into account his monstrous 62 HP. X-Axe also has innate threat and defense 4, so that could be useful in arena to help your bonus unit secure kills. Some honorable mentions include Xander and Camus. These guys have distant counter weapons, but just because they have a distant counter weapon isn't good enough anymore. However, they're still solid candidates if you want distant counter cavaliers on your horse emblem team. Marissa doesn't have any unique skills, but she does have an interesting stat line. She is kind of like a budget version of Owain and Ira in the sense that they all have great speed with good defense. Same thing with Marth, nothing really special about him, but his stat line is rather unique compared with the other units within the Axe Cavalier category. Versa, Halloween Dorcas, and Young Azura aren't in the shop yet, but I would assume they'll get added soon in the near future. All 3 of these units are excellent candidates as well, so if you want to plus 10 any of these 3, then you should save your Grails. Aversa is a red tone flyer. She's one of 3 currently in the game, and the other 2 are seasonal. Her stats aren't the best, but 33-34 offensive stats are okay, but it's all about her weapon. I personally value weapons with innate out of combat debuffing effects higher than most effects because they are very useful for helping your bonus unit secure kills in arena. Merging Dorcas is mainly just for stats and high BST. 173 BST is the highest among all free units, and I believe Dorcas and Black Knight are the 2 high scoring free to play units at plus 10 merged if we exclude the Brave Heroes. Young Azura honestly isn't that good stat wise, but she has a pretty interesting unique tome in Book of Shadows. It grants her 3 speed passively and inflicts a -4 debuff in all combat stats to her foe in combat as long as she's adjacent to an ally. At plus 10 merge, I think she can definitely hold her own against non-armored blues. However, the main reason to invest so heavily into her is if you want a green dancer in your arena core, but you'll have to give her green dual infantry if you wish to do so. There are better green dancers to give green dual infantry to, like Performing Arts Azura, but you know, she's kinda hard to summon. Alright, so that's my list of units that I think are worth merging to plus 10. Now let's get into skill fodder. There's 20 copies of each hero in the Grail shop, and more than likely, you're probably not going to go for 2 plus 10 copies of one specific hero. You're most likely going to use some of these units as skill fodder, so I'm going to give you guys a list of the best skills that you can get from each of these units. I'm not going to commentate on it because that would take forever, and if you need to take a few more seconds to glance over everything, then just pause the video. Alright, that's it for this video. Hopefully this video helps some of you guys. If you guys can, please give this video a like. I would highly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
れない